What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new Football Manager 2016 video. Today it's the penultimate episode in my Liverpool Let's Play series. Now, if you've missed the past two episodes, go and check them out because I've actually been explaining what's going on. We're actually on some serious hot streak right now. I didn't even notice if we look back at our results. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just like playing through and then reviewing the month, and then I'm doing the important games and live commentaries. So the last time you were actually with me was the Man United match. Back there, it was a 1-1 draw. We were, I don't know, probably wasn't the most of interesting games, to be honest. I was going to say we probably deserved to win, but then again, we probably didn't. Then we played the Merseyside derby. Youri Tielemans picked up 2 goals. One was a penalty, but he also got injured. He's back now, but yeah, he did get injured, which wasn't ideal. You know, we went a goal up, Everton got one back, and then we scored within 2 minutes of them scoring, which obviously is a huge bonus. We'll move on to the next game, which was a home match against West Bromwich Albion. This one was an interesting game, to be fair. They got in a very early penalty, and I was quite furious at that point, and we really didn't show any sign of bouncing back in the first half at all. As you can see, it actually took us to the second half, and a very angered half-time team talk, it has to be said, for us to actually get back into the game. But Adam Lallana and Mauro Icardi popping up with the goals. Obviously, Icardi is cup tied for the Europa League, if you did not know that. Then we played our first match against Leverkusen in the quarterfinals, and Divock Origi stepped up big time. I was a bit concerned as to whether he would be enough for us to actually win this Europa League, or whether we needed more players, you know, like a better striker. But obviously I couldn't do anything about it because Icardi was cup tied, but he stepped up when it mattered. Obviously, again, one of them was a penalty. We scored after 2 minutes though, which was a real big influence in us actually getting the victory. Obviously they scored and then we went and got a penalty in the second half, but I felt like we were on top. For most part, they actually have quite a bit of possession, but I felt like we had the better chances. That's what I'm trying to say. And we probably deserved the victory. We don't tend to actually have fewer possession, as you're about to see in this game. This was the one game we've drawn in the games we've played offline. It was a frustrating match. We dominated possession, as we always do, you know, 61%. But in terms of shots on target, we only had 2, and they only had 2 themselves. So, you know, we just weren't hitting the target, and you can kind of tell we don't play well when Icardi doesn't play well. He had a 6.6 rating, which, you know, that could be better. Then what was next? QPR. Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was it was expected, to be honest, because we've just struggled against Sunderland, and you want to bounce back, but in Football Manager you don't tend to. You just tend to like scrap a victory in the next game. That's what happened. 1-0 victory away to QPR. Icardi does actually play better, and he gets on the score sheet. Then we actually knocked out Leverkusen, a 1-0 victory again. So we're just trying to rebuild that form slowly after we got knocked off our tracks. Quite interesting that every game was 2-1, then we drew, and then it was 1-0, and then 2-0, and you know, 1-0 twice, and then 2-0. Maybe we can get another 2-0 today. It just seems to be a little pattern that is going on. We're actually unbeaten since January, which is absolutely crazy. We've just seemed to have hit some decent form, which is good to see. And then the biggest result of this period, I was going to do this game online, in like a live commentary, but then I wanted to do the 2 semi-finals, which you'll be seeing today in this video, by the way, guys. The 2 semi-finals against, you know, the 2 legs against Schalke, which is obviously going to be a tough match. But we had a tough match against Arsenal, and we managed to come through it. Roberto Firmino scoring like we did in real life. It was Coutinho though in real life, but we scored right before half time, which I always think is it's a massive time to score because it really kills the confidence, it kills the flow of the match. And we went on to get a second goal again through Icardi. Sergi Sampo was unfortunate to pick up an injury in this game, but we went there, and to be fair, we were just dominant at the back. I think Joel Matip and Sacco, yeah, so both of them had great games. They actually got into Team of the Week, you know, that they do. As you can see, Arsenal just dominated shots and shots on target, but we just managed to get lucky, to be fair, and we took our chances better, which is, it's what you want to see. And then obviously that leaves us where we are. We've got the 2 Europa League semi-final games. We've only got 3 Premier League games left, and there's been a huge turnaround in the Premier League. If we go and take a look at that, we are now top, 3 points clear of City. I think when I left you, we were 4 points behind them, so we've had a 7-point swing. Why has that happened? It's not just been because of our good form, because if we had good form and they did, that wouldn't have happened. Look at City. They have only won once. When did they last win in the Premier League? So the 1st of April. It's now the 4th of May. They've not won in the Premier League in a month. So they drew at Bournemouth. They drew at Sunderland. They lost at home to Arsenal. They drew at home to QPR, and then obviously that was the victory they had. But even the 2 games before that, Everton and Man United, they were slipping up. They've been dropping points now, and I kind of predicted it. I thought there's a couple of tricky games in there, but I did not expect them whatsoever to actually lose as many games as they have. Well, not lose, but, lose points. You get what I'm trying to say. In terms of Arsenal, they probably could have still caught us, but then we've just kind of killed them off with that 2-0 victory. They're not gonna catch us now. And how I see it, I think we probably will win the Premier League, as unlikely as it is. You look at that, Bournemouth are in 10th. That could be a bit of a tricky game, especially when it's sandwiched in between the 2 Europa League semi-finals. Then Swansea are in 19th. They're already relegated. We should be winning that. And then the final game of the season is at home to Watford. Yes, they're in 6th, so it should be difficult. But because it's the final game, we don't have to really focus on anything else. Yes, we'll have the Europa League final, but this game is the one that really matters at that point. So I still feel like we probably can win the Premier League. We've got a 3-point swing as well on Man City, and our goal difference is better, so we can still afford to lose one of them matches. I really didn't expect to win the Premier League, and obviously it's not done and dusted. We can win it with 84 points if we get the maximum points from these final 3 games, which is far too low to win the Premier League in my opinion. But it just shows how poor the Premier League has been this season. But let's go and crack on with the game against Schalke. Obviously, Lyon and PSV is the other semi-final. So as I said in the last episode, if we get past by Leverkusen, which we did, then we'll probably bump into Schalke, which we have. If we get past them, in my opinion, we're odds-on favourites to win this competition. I can't see past us. I think that's the team I've been going with, except if Okarigi's up front. So the assistant pretty much gets it right. That is the team we are going to go with. Let's go and jump into this game. So I'm going to play this one. Then I'm going to play the Bournemouth game offline. And then we'll come back for the next leg in this episode of this semi-finals. Leno's hardly conceded a goal, which is a very, very good point. He has been unbeatable. I shouldn't have said that because he's going to get beat today, isn't he? Obviously, I'd rather have Marco Guduric available to us. Schalke were actually favourites, so I just wanted to note that. We are in superb form, so just pick up where you left off. Probably wasn't the most of inspiring team talks, but I'm not too bothered. We really should be beating Schalke, or at least my aim for European football away from home is to not concede many goals, 2 at maximum, and hopefully always try and nick at least 1 goal. If you can get 1 goal, even if you lose 3-1, you are in a decent position then, because all you've got to do is score 2 at home, which should be simple enough, and not concede the goal. I think that's realistic. That's my aim for European matches, which has kind of gone quite well for us. We should encourage... No, we should not. I don't want to be lumping the ball forward. There is going to be a highlight, though. We are only 7 minutes in. This would not be a good time to concede, and we will probably concede if you do things like that, Klein. Don't really know what he's doing. Obviously, Leroy Sané's still here because this save started before he moved to Manchester City, and we are a goal down, right? Okay, that's a bit disappointing. We are a goal down. I said try and keep the amount of goals we concede down to a minimum. I always knew Schalke was going to be a tough match, but I didn't expect to be a goal down within inside 10 minutes. We just can't avoid to be blown away and be like 3 goals down. I said we can lose 3-1. I'll be half comfortable with that. I'd rather we didn't, though. And obviously, another thing I need to mention, in the next episode, it's going to be the final episode of this series, and how it's basically going to work is, if I get through to the Europa League final, it'll be the Europa League final and like the final game of the Premier League. And if I don't get through to the Europa League final, which isn't looking likely right now with 2 goals down, if I don't get through to the Europa League final, then it'll just be the final game of the Premier League to see if I actually manage to win the Premier League. But as I said, it's not really looking likely right now that we are going to get there, which obviously isn't ideal. 30 minutes played and we've had 1 shot. And it wasn't on, and it wasn't off target, so I'm not too sure what it was. It must have been blocked. But the lads just aren't performing today, which... it's disappointing, because this is probably the biggest fixture of the season so far, because you need a decent away performance. You can do whatever you want to do at home. You can turn up at home any week of the season if you really want to. But it's when you come to these big away matches, you've got to be turning up, and we've just... Did that hit the post, or was it a save? That's a big chance. just before half-time. As I was saying before, but just before half-time is an absolutely perfect time to score. But our players just aren't performing, to be honest. I mean, you look at Divock Origi, 6.3. I was talking about how influential his performance was when he popped up with 2 goals away to Leverkusen. 6.3 is really letting us down. Adam Lallana is also letting us down right now. I'm just going to say assertively to them, show me something else in that second half, please. It can't get any worse than that, surely. Who are we going to put up front in the second half? Do I risk Daniel Sturridge despite the fact I hardly play him at all? Do you know what? I'm going to go with him. I'm going to play Daniel Sturridge, and this could literally be his final chance in a Liverpool shirt, because if he doesn't perform today, I just won't play him for the rest of the series. Obviously, there's not long left in the series, but if he doesn't perform, then that's him gone. Let's see if that does anything. Just see him deep in thought. That's not really ideal, and it's not what I wanted. 2-0. 2 Schalke at half-time, and we've really not even looked influential whatsoever. We've had loads of possession, as we always do, and it's actually a penalty within size 15 seconds of the first half. Sorry, the second half. Who's taking this? Is this Tielemans? I think he's actually our top scorer. Interestingly, I was looking the other day, Tielemans, and he scored. I thought he missed then. Right, we have got that away goal. Now try and keep the goals conceded down as much as possible. If we go and concede another, as I said, we can probably still turn it around, but it's not ideal. If we nick another goal now, though, we are in the driving seat. If you get 2 away goals, you are looking good value for money. But it's good to see that we got a penalty. We didn't mess around with it. We tucked it in. We've had a few issues with penalties in this save, especially this season. But no messing around there from Youri Tielemans. And as I said, I'm sure he's our top scorer. He's literally drawing with Icardi, albeit Icardi came in halfway through the season. But not too much is going on right now. I'm just going to actually tell the lads to tighten up, because, as I said, 2-1 isn't ideal. 2-1 defeat. But the away goal is definitely ideal. I'm just going to bring Roberto Firmino on. And I'll stick him to an inside forward, just to see if he can cut inside a bit more. So we've obviously got Barbosa on the other side. I think he'll be cutting in as well. I'm quite sure he's an inside forward. But if we can manage to nick one last goal in this game to get it to 2-2, then that would be pretty ideal, to be honest. But as I said, it just not seeming to... Nothing's really happened. Literally nothing has happened in the second half apart from that penalty. And that was right on half-time, which you usually get a highlight anyway. You get the half-time highlight. But this one actually counted. There is actually going to be a final highlight. Please, just do not let them score. If they score, then we are in a world of shit. As Klein's actually getting forward here. Here's Daniel Sturridge. Sturridge has not performed. I said I want him to make an impact. He's not played poor, but he's just not really done anything. He wasn't even involved in the penalty. Firmino getting forward. Roberto Firmino. Oh, that's just too easy. How's that a key highlight? Can I just point out, we have definitely got back into the game though. Like, we had 1 shot in the first half, we've had 10 in the second. So clearly that change around has done us good. Oh my word, no, please, please, please. Thank God. I thought that was just going to drop in. Still not over though. The danger is still not gone. It's Liverpool and it's a corner kick. If you are a Liverpool fan, you know that is not the ideal recipe. That is not what you want to see. That is not a sentence you want to put together. It does seem... There is 30 seconds left. There could still be a chance, but it does seem like it is going to end 2-1 to Schalke, which obviously isn't ideal, but I'm not too disheartened by it. I'll be disheartened if they go and score now. I'll be very disheartened if they score now. Sané puts the ball in. Klein gets it away. 5 seconds left. It is going to end 2-1. And that is still doable. We can still turn this round. It was obviously... he's actually saying... We were unlucky. I'll say that we were unlucky tonight, to be fair, because I don't want to piss them off before the game against, Schalke next week. We really need to keep them on side at the moment. But that wasn't the worst result possible. We could have just got beat 3-4-0. We'll come back for the second leg anyway. Okay, so we're back for the match, but let's just review our game against Bournemouth first. We got a 2-0 victory despite a heavily rotated team. I was even playing some of the youngsters. I don't think there was many players that did start. In terms of the starters that here that actually started, only Klein, I think it was actually, who started in the other match as well. We did actually win 2-0. Icardi again obviously scoring. Mamadou Sakho also getting on the score sheet, which was good to see. And that was pretty much that. It was quite straightforward. I didn't expect it to be that straightforward, considering how many players rotated. I was kind of expecting just to be sat here right now and awkwardly telling you guys that I've just lost 3-0 or something like that. But obviously we remain 3 points ahead of City, because City got an 89th minute winner through Fabian Delph. As you can see, they beat Swansea City 3-2, which was quite disappointing. They were 2-0 down at one point as well, so Swansea kind of screwed me over, to be honest. Would have been nice if they managed to get the victory there. Arsenal officially cannot catch us, so it is now a two-horse race in the Premier League between ourselves and Manchester City. Let's just go through to this game, though. Against Schalke, we've really got to be winning today. They've obviously got 2 goals. We have our away goal, though, so just try and not score. Try not score, try not concede goals. There's our team. As you can see, it's unchanged from the last one. Just apply them, and we shall just say pick up where... Actually, we'll say we owe it to them to get revenge. Please say that worked. That has worked. That is very nice. Right. Really got to be getting to this Europa League final, because if we can get to both... Whoa, it's crashed. Where's it gone? I'm back. I'm back. Oh, no, they've scored. What's gone on there? My game crashed, and Schalke have scored. They've got an away goal 4 minutes in. I need to see what happens. So it was a free kick. Goes to Sané. Oh, my God. Is it that easy to score against us nowadays? It seems to be. That's absolutely frustrating. So Schalke have their away goal. They are 3-1 up on aggregate. We need to score 3 to go through. 2 to draw, which will obviously take it to extra time and penalties. Not ideal. Really not the ideal start that we wanted. Trying to make a team talk here, and the game's not friggin' let me. What is going on? Why? Every time I go on something, it goes on something else. You clearly see me click, show some passion, and it goes to tighten up. I don't get what the hell's going on with that. It's doing me head in, but we have got a chance. Lallana, Gaia, come on, please create something. Please, Emre Can. There we go. We're back in the game. It's 1-1 on the day. It's 2-3 or 3-2 on aggregate. The game's lagging like hell. I don't really know why. It's kind of doing me head in, to be honest. Right, Adam Lallana's picked up a knock. I'm not too sure if he needs to come off. I didn't really read that. We should substitute him as soon as possible, right? So that will have to happen. Rafinha's just took down Gaia, and he's getting called over. He has gone in the book, so I'm guessing there's a highlight coming from this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be too much sense of showing the bucket, and we have scored, right? Barbosa has got it back to 2-2. Adam Lallana needs to come off because he's banged his head. So I'm going to bring on Roberto Firmino, and as I did last time, I'll play him as an inside forward. But we are back in the game now. It's 3-3 on aggregate. It's obviously 2-1 in this game, 2-1 in their leg. Well, the game at their stadium. We just can't be conceding any more away goals, because one more away goal means we need to score an extra 2 goals today in 45 minutes against them, which is obviously going to be a tough ask, because they are a very, very good team, to be fair. I'm just going to say... Oh, God, I think I've said the wrong thing. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, okay, yeah, I said the right thing. I thought I read that wrong then. I thought I said completely the wrong thing. But as I said, 2-1 at half time. Surely we can get another goal and not concede one. That will be the ideal situation. That's what we want. This will be an ideal time to score it as well, just after half time, like we did in the away leg. Obviously, it was through a penalty. Divock Origi still going. Still Origi. Oh, my word. Oh, if you've done all that hard work, you should be scoring, in my opinion. So Origi really should be burying that. Please, not another set piece. Emre Can does get it away. It's going to come back at us, though. Sané in our box. Great save, Leno. Thank God. Every time the opposition has a set piece, I think a bit of me just inside dies. It just starts crying. It's like, no, we're going to concede like this. We've got a corner. They've put it in. It has got cleared. And Jordan Henderson, no nonsense, smashes it out of play. Good to see that from the skipper. Time is ticking on. We have just got a highlight in behind. I'm just going to bring Origi off. I'm going to play Sturridge as a complete forward, because we really need a goal. But as I said, we do have a highlight. Or is it going to go to them? I probably shouldn't have jinxed it in saying we do before I actually knew it was us. But we have regained possession. Gaia out to Firmino. Firmino's going to obviously try and drift inside, being that inside forward that we've got him on. Klein, get down that right-hand side. Into Barbosa, and it's a big save. That should be going in. We can't be missing chances like that. With, 20 minutes to go, we should be scoring that, and we should be 3-1 up now. It's chances like that that just, they come back to, haunt you at the end of the day. If they go and score now and we've missed that chance, Looks like it is going to go the distance to extra time, or is the one last chance? A minute to go. Sturridge is into the box. Still Daniel Sturridge, and that's just wayward. That was just ridiculous. It's going nowhere near the goal. There's 20 seconds left. We're going to extra time, lads. There it is. We are going to extra time. Just going to say again, we need to get revenge. That probably wasn't the best of team talks. Who's looking particularly tired? Because I can't afford tired legs out there right now. I need everyone to be 100% focused and playing well. Not everyone's playing well. That's the problem. Firmino is not playing well, but there's no one really to come on and replace him. I don't even think I'm going to make a change, to be honest. I'm just going to go exactly as we are. And just hope that we somehow manage to see this game out. Okay, first half of extra time is over. We're going to go straight into the second half. Please just do not let them score, because if they score, then we've got to get 2 goals within inside 15 minutes. It's just not going to happen, let's be honest. We are down their end. I can't really see anything coming from this. It's just a half-time highlight over again, except it's in extra time. So I'd rather just stop wasting my time. There we go. That's what I like to see. Looks like we are going to penalties. I hate penalties. It's just the most unfair way to decide things, because you could have a much better team, but you could still go out on penalties. It's nerve-wracking as well to watch. But it is going the distance. It's going to penalties, so we've got to put up with it. And we are up first. Tielemans scored a penalty in the first leg. I'm genuinely nervous right now. You may be able to tell in my voice. I'm not too sure, but I am actually quite nervous for this. Tielemans, why is he so far away from the ball? And I swear he's right-footed. So why is he standing there? Okay, he actually runs up to his Tielemans. We've scored. Right. There we go. Always start with a goal, please. That's just what you need to do. You need to have your first penalty scored. Rafinha for them. And it's saved. Get in, Leno. There we go. 1-0. And we have saved a penalty. Barbosa. There we go. 2-0. Good start, lads. We are looking like we could be booking our place in the Europa League final. Huntelaar. Good penalty, to be fair. I was always expecting him to score. Roberto Firmino, quite quiet in this game, but he slots his penalty home with ease. 3-1 in the shootout. Who's up next? Brady for them. Come on, Leno. Come on. Oh, it sends him the wrong way. It was kind of down the middle, that, to be fair. It was a decent enough penalty. Sturridge. Please, lad. Oh, Daniel. Daniel. Oh, man, I never win penalty shootouts. It's the most annoying thing ever. Why did Leno not save that? That was right at him. If we go out now because of this, please, Emre Can. Thank God, I thought he missed. Please save this, Leno. Please actually move, especially if it's right at you. Leroy Sané, come on. There we go. We are in the Europa League final. Thank God for that. I don't win penalty shootouts, but I just have. That's absolutely crazy. We are in the final. We are still on to win the Premier League. What a game that was. What a tie that was, to be fair. 2-1 in both legs. It had pretty much everything except the red cards, to be fair. But that's where I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it on a bit of a cliffhanger. We're going to be playing no more matches in this episode. You will have to tune back to see if we win the Premier League and the Europa League, and obviously our final episode of this series. Be sure to drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Comment down below. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. But thank you all for watching. Until next time, goodbye.